Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going to be looking at Li Auto's intelligent driving system.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so specifically, their claims of achieving what they call full scenario end-to-end capabilities.
Wow, full scenario. That sounds impressive.
I know, right? And we're working from some excerpts of a text file
Okay.
called liautoin.txt, and it seems to be kind of promotional in nature.
Mm-hmm.
But, let's try to figure this out together. Like, how does this system actually work?
Right.
Why is it creating such a buzz? And what could this mean for the future of driving?
Yeah, and what I find really fascinating is how Liato is positioning themselves here.
Yeah.
It's not just about, touting cool new features.
Right.
They're really aiming to be seen as pioneers in this whole AI revolution,
Yeah.
using their vehicles as a springboard to bring AI into everyday life.
That's a bold ambition.
It is.
And this liautoin.txt file definitely emphasizes that. Right off the bat, they're claiming to have achieved full scenario end-to-end capabilities with their one model intelligent driving system.
Okay.
Now, I know end-to-end gets thrown around a lot these days,
It does, yeah.
but what does that actually mean in this context? Like, what are they talking about?
Well, it's significant because they're basically saying this system can handle any driving scenario you throw at it.
Okay.
Urban streets, highways, ring roads,
Wow.
all with this end-to-end approach.
Oh, hey.
They're even saying they're the only automaker in China and the second globally after Tesla
Oh, wow.
to apply this technology across all these scenarios.
Okay, that definitely piques my interest. But
Yeah.
honestly, what really caught my eye was this AI reasoning visualization thing.
Yeah.
It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It's pretty groundbreaking. For the
Okay.
first time, drivers can actually see how the AI is making decisions.
Wow.
It's a huge shift away from that traditional black box approach to AI. Instead of just blindly trusting the system, you can actually understand its thought process.
That's interesting.
And if you're curious to see what this looks like, we've included a screenshot of this visualization in the show notes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking at it right now, and wow, it's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
But can you break it down for us? What are we looking at here?
Sure. So there are three main areas in this visualization.
Oh.
The first is what they call the E2E,
Okay.
or end-to-end model section.
Mm-hmm.
And this shows a simplified view of the car's surroundings. So the car itself, other vehicles, lane markings, and potential trajectories that the AI is considering.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is the AI actually simulates multiple possible paths
Uh-huh.
and then selects the one that feels the most natural and human-like.
Right, because a jerky, robotic driving experience wouldn't exactly inspire confidence.
Exactly.
So the AI is aiming for smooth, intuitive movements that blend in with the flow of traffic. Okay, what about that second section? I think you mentioned something called an attention system.
Yes, so this section functions like a heat map,
Okay.
highlighting what the AI is focusing on at any given moment.
Uh-huh.
The hotter the color, the more important that element is to the AI's decision-making.
Oh, wow.
You can literally see the AI thinking in real time, whether it's focused on a pedestrian about to cross the street or a car signaling a lane change or, a complex intersection up ahead.
So it's not just what the AI is seeing, it's also what it's prioritizing.
Exactly.
Okay, now for the part that really blew my mind, this vision language model, or VLM,
Yeah.
you said the AI can actually explain its reasoning.
Yeah, and that's why this feature is creating so much excitement.
Okay.
The VLM is designed to handle those really challenging situations that
Mhm.
even the E2E model might struggle with.
Like what?
Things like tricky intersections, construction zones, even understanding those time-limited bus lanes.
Right.
In these situations, the AI essentially thinks out loud, explaining its decisions in plain text.
So wait, it's like having a super smart co-pilot
Yeah.
who can not only navigate these complex situations, but also tell you exactly why it's making these decisions.
Exactly.
I mean, if that doesn't build trust in an autonomous system, I don't know what will.
Right.
But I'm curious because some critics argue that all this explanation could actually make drivers less likely to trust the system.
Yeah, that's a good point.
What's your take on that?
It's true. Some people might find it overwhelming or distracting to have the AI constantly explaining itself.
Right.
But I think Li Auto is betting on the idea that transparency will ultimately win out.
Mm-hmm.
By giving drivers a window into the AI's thought process, they're hoping to demystify the technology and make it more approachable.
So it's about moving away from that magic perception of AI
Right.
and towards a more collaborative relationship where drivers understand how the system works and feel more comfortable relinquishing control.
Exactly.
That makes sense. But all of this is just theory, right? What's it actually like to use this system in the real world?
Well, we were fortunate enough to get to test drive the latest version in Beijing.
Oh, wow.
And I have to say, it's a significant improvement over their previous
All
systems.
right.
The driving experience is remarkably smooth, and it feels much more human-like, especially in the way it handles curves and navigates those complex situations.
Can you give me some specific examples? Like what kind of situations really showcase the system's capabilities?
Sure, for instance, when approaching a slower vehicle, the system anticipates the need for a lane change much earlier,
Okay.
and it executes it smoothly and confidently.
Hmm.
It's also very adept at avoiding large trucks and maintaining a safe following distance.
Okay.
And in those situations where someone cuts you off,
Yeah.
the braking is much more natural and composed, not abrupt and jarring.
That sounds impressive. I remember reading about their urban intelligent driving system before version 6.0.
Yeah.
I think they were using BEV and transformer technology back then.
Mhm.
What's the difference between that system and this new end-to-end approach?
Oh, it's a world of difference.
Really?
BEV, or bird's eye view perception and transformer models,
Right.
while innovative at the time, still relied heavily on predefined rules and struggled in more complex situations.
Yeah.
The new end-to-end system is a significant step forward because it learns and adapts based on massive amounts of data.
Okay.
This allows for much more nuanced and human-like driving behavior.
So it's not just about reacting to pre-programmed rules.
Yeah.
It's about actually understanding the nuances of driving like a human would.
Exactly.
And this end-to-end experience, it's not just about driving on the road, is it?
You're absolutely right. Li Auto really emphasizes the complete driving journey
Huh.
from leaving your parking space to arriving at your destination.
Okay.
This means navigating parking lot gates, handling traffic lights, avoiding pedestrians, and more.
Wow.
The goal is a seamless and stress-free experience from start to finish.
So they're aiming for a truly hands-free autonomous experience,
Yes.
eliminating those like last mile scenarios where you have to take over. Okay, I'm sold on the experience, but I'm curious about the brains behind all this.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of technology is powering this end-to-end plus VLM system?
That's where things get really interesting. To understand that, we need to delve into the world of large language models and data-driven learning. Stay with us as we explore the tech behind the magic in part 2 of this deep dive.
All right, so we've seen how impressive this system seems to be, but how does it actually work?
Right.
What's the secret sauce behind Li Auto's intelligent driving technology?
To understand that, we need to look at the bigger picture,
Okay.
the AI revolution, and the rise of these large language models like ChatGPT.
Oh, yeah.
You probably heard a lot about these advancements.
Absolutely. It feels like AI is everywhere these days and is changing everything so rapidly.
Exactly. And Li Auto's intelligent driving system is a perfect example of how this AI revolution is taking shape
Okay.
in the real world. End-to-end intelligent driving represents a paradigm shift, moving away from these traditional rule-based systems and towards a system where the AI learns and adapts more like a human driver.
So instead of relying on pre-programmed rules for every single situation, the AI is actually learning from experience.
Yes.
Similar to how we humans learn.
Precisely. And this shift isn't unique to Li Auto.
Right.
Remember when we talked about Tesla's FSD V12?
Yeah.
That's another example of this move towards end-to-end learning.
Right. I'm starting to see the parallels, but Li Auto isn't simply copying Tesla, are they?
No, they've added their own unique twist to this technology.
Okay, what is it?
They're using a fascinating dual system approach,
Okay.
which they say is inspired by Daniel Kahneman's book, Thinking Fast and Slow.
Ooh, I love that book.
The idea is that our brains have two systems.
Okay.
System 1 is fast and intuitive
Huh.
and handles most of our everyday decisions,
Right.
while System 2 is slower,
Okay.
more deliberate, and takes over when faced with complex problems.
Gotcha. But how does this relate to Li Auto's intelligent driving?
So think of their System 1 as that E2E model we discussed earlier.
Yeah.
It's designed to be fast and efficient, smoothly handling the majority of driving scenarios in an intuitive way.
Right.
Imagine an experienced driver navigating familiar roads effortlessly.
Okay.
That's System 1 at work.
That makes sense. But what about those situations that require a bit more thought and analysis?
Right.
That's where System 2 kicks in.
Exactly. Li Auto's System 2 is their VLM, that vision language model we talked about.
Okay.
It's like having a brilliant strategist in the passenger seat,
Right.
ready to analyze complex situations and help make the best decision.
I see.
Remember how it can explain its reasoning in plain text?
Yeah.
That's System 2.
So it's like having the best of both worlds.
Yes.
The quick reflexes of an experienced driver and the strategic thinking of a brilliant mind.
Exactly.
But can you give us like a concrete example of how these two systems work together?
Sure. So imagine you're driving on a highway and want to change lanes.
Okay.
The E2E model, or System 1,
Mm-hmm.
would quickly assess the surrounding vehicles, check for blind spots, and smoothly execute the lane change.
Got it.
Now imagine you're approaching a complex roundabout
Okay.
with multiple exits and merging traffic.
Right.
This situation demands more strategic thinking,
Yeah.
which is where the VLM or System 2 takes over.
Okay.
It analyzes the traffic flow, predicts the movements of other vehicles,
Mm-hmm.
and determines the safest and most efficient path, all while explaining its reasoning to you in plain text.
Wow, that's incredible. So it's not just about reacting to immediate situations.
Right.
It's also about anticipating potential challenges and making strategic decisions.
Precisely.
This dual system approach seems incredibly sophisticated, but some critics argue that Li Auto's system is still too cautious,
Yeah.
especially compared to Tesla's system.
Right.
What's your perspective on that?
It's true that Li Auto's system tends to prioritize safety over speed,
Okay.
which can sometimes result in a more conservative driving style.
Right.
Tesla, on the other hand, is known for being more aggressive in its decision-making.
Yeah.
Ultimately, it comes down to individual preferences and comfort levels.
Right.
Some drivers may prefer Li Auto's cautious approach, while others may find Tesla's more assertive style more appealing.
That's a fair point. It's like choosing between a driver who strictly adheres to the speed limit and one who enjoys pushing the boundaries a bit.
Exactly.
But going back to the technology itself,
Sure,
this end-to-end design seems to have some inherent advantages.
it does.
Can you elaborate on that?
One of the biggest advantages is the efficient flow of information.
Okay.
Traditional systems with separate modules and hand-coded rules create bottlenecks.
Right.
Li Auto's integrated system, however, allows information to flow seamlessly within the model, which enables faster processing and decision-making.
That makes sense. Less bureaucratic red tape means faster reactions and a smoother driving experience.
Exactly.
Are there any other benefits to this design?
Another huge benefit is that this data-driven system can be rapidly iterated and improved. Every time someone uses the system, it generates more data,
Right.
which is used to refine and train the AI, making it smarter and more capable over time.
So it's constantly learning and evolving based on real-world experience.
Precisely.
That's fascinating.
Hmm.
It's clear Li Auto is pushing the boundaries of intelligent driving technology.
AR.
But what's the bigger picture here? Why are they investing so heavily in this technology?
That's a great question, and it leads us to Li Auto's larger vision for the future.
Okay.
They're not simply content with building smarter cars.
Right.
They see themselves as pioneers in the AI revolution with grand ambitions that extend far beyond the automotive industry.
So they want to be more than just a car company.
Yeah, they're positioning themselves as a leading force in this whole AI landscape
Okay.
with a vision that extends far beyond just, vehicles. They want to bring AI into every household.
And this Li Auto and .txt file we've been analyzing,
Yeah.
it definitely seems like a key part of that strategy.
Right. It's almost like they're making this bold declaration about their AI ambitions.
So what does their roadmap for this AI-powered future look like? Like, what are their concrete plans?
Well, Li Sheng, their CEO,
Right.
he's outlined a 3-stage vision for the future of AI.
Okay.
The first stage focuses on AI as an extension of human capabilities.
Okay.
So imagine AI handling many driving tasks, but with humans still ready to take control when needed.
Mm-hmm.
This is similar to like the L3 stage of autonomous driving.
Right.
And Li Sheng believes this will be a reality by 2025.
So AI is a powerful tool to enhance our lives and make things easier.
Exactly.
What about the next stage? What does that look like?
Stage 2 gets even more intriguing.
Okay.
He calls this the human assistance stage,
Okay.
or L4 autonomy.
Gotcha.
Now, the AI can drive autonomously,
Mm-hmm.
giving humans the freedom to relax or focus on other things during their commute.
Right.
And he believes this stage is achievable within the next 3 years.
That sounds like the truly hands-free, sit back and enjoy the ride future we've all been promised. But Li Sheng doesn't stop there, does he? What's his, ultimate vision for AI?
His final stage is where things get really ambitious.
Yeah.
He envisions what he calls a silicon-based family.
A silicon-based family.
Wow. It's a future where AI is so advanced that it can manage various aspects of our lives,
Like what?
from running our homes to even preserving our memories.
That's a pretty bold vision. But isn't it a bit far-fetched? Can they realistically achieve all of that?
It's definitely a bold vision, and it raises many questions about the role of AI in our lives.
For sure, like what would a silicon-based family even look like? How would that impact our lives?
It could mean AI assistants managing our schedules, educating our children,
Wow.
even providing companionship.
Okay.
The possibilities are both exciting and a bit unsettling.
Yeah.
It challenges us to rethink our relationship with technology and consider a future where AI is deeply integrated into our lives.
It's definitely a lot to wrap our heads around, but there's another piece of Li Auto's AI strategy that I think we need to discuss. The Li Auto Xiaotong app.
Right.
It launched at the end of 2024,
Yes.
and it seems like another crucial part of their broader AI ambitions.
It is. It's definitely a key piece of the puzzle.
Right.
Think of Xiaotong as like a personal AI assistant that lives on your phone.
Okay.
It can handle tasks like scheduling appointments,
Right.
controlling smart home devices, providing entertainment.
Yeah.
But what makes it particularly interesting is Li Xing's belief that Xiaotong and their autonomous driving technology will eventually converge.
That's an interesting idea.
Yeah.
What makes him think these two seemingly separate technologies will come together?
He believes that both Xiaotong and autonomous driving require a deep understanding of the world
Right.
to function effectively.
Okay.
They both need sophisticated cognitive abilities to perceive, reason, and make decisions.
Yeah.
As they evolve, they'll naturally share knowledge and capabilities, ultimately leading to a more powerful and integrated form of AI.
So it's not just about a smarter car or a more advanced app. It's about creating a holistic AI ecosystem that can learn and grow.
Exactly.
It seems as Li Auto is aiming for that artificial general intelligence we hear so much about these days.
They're making it clear they want to be at the forefront of this movement,
Right.
and their investments in AI research and development,
Mm-hmm.
along with their end-to-end intelligent driving system,
Yeah.
clearly demonstrate their commitment to innovation in this space.
Well, we've covered a lot of ground today.
We have.
We explored how Li Auto's intelligent driving system works,
Right.
delved into the technology behind it,
Yeah.
and even glimpsed their ambitious vision for the future of AI.
Mm-hmm.
What does this all mean for our listeners? Why should they care?
Well, I think Li Auto's approach to intelligent driving is more than just a cool feature.
Okay.
It offers a glimpse into a future where cars are AI-powered partners that understand our needs and enhance our lives. And beyond that, it showcases a company that's making a big bet on AI's power to change how we live, work, and interact with the world.
It's a fascinating case study in the evolution of AI and its potential impact on our lives.
It is.
So for our listeners, I think the takeaway here is this. If AI can learn to drive better than humans, what other tasks could it master? How will our relationship with technology change as AI becomes more deeply integrated into our everyday lives?
Those are some thought-provoking questions,
Yeah.
and there are no easy answers, but Li Auto's work certainly gives us a lot to consider
For sure.
as we navigate this exciting and uncharted territory.
It's definitely a journey worth following.
It is.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Li Auto and the future of AI.
My pleasure.
We encourage you to share your thoughts on this fascinating topic. Until next time.